Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Now today we're going to take a look at Argo Online, and as you can see it's a free-to-play and self-proclaimed hybrid MMORPG. Now when it says a hybrid MMORPG, I can tell you right now it has kind of a mix between fantasy, sci-fi, steampunk. It's got a lot of stuff going on, but for the most part it's a standard 3D fantasy sci-fi MMORPG. So let's get going. So as you can see here, it does have one server right now, and that's kind of it's kind of a misnomer because it does have a good player base. It's just right now there's only the one server. So let's click in and let's get started. You can see I have no characters created, and there was that cutscene. I'm gonna let you guys watch it on your own. It's really loud as far as me being able to record, and it is kind of long, so it would take up a lot of this video. So we're gonna jump right into creating our character. So you do have two different factions that you can choose from. You've got the proud pioneers of automation, the Nobilian, and you've got nature's chosen race, the Florisla. So we're going to go ahead and go with the Nobilian. Essentially, there's not a lot of difference between the two. I mean, we can take a look at each one. You can see here, Nobilian excels in academia and have a strong desire to learn. But there are some slight differences in the classes in each one, but it's really just in naming. There's not a lot of difference as far as when you get into the game and how they kind of play and stuff like that. So let's go ahead, and you can see here after the Great War, these are kind of your nature loving type characters. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and go with the Nobilian. So let's go ahead and create our character. So do you want to create? Now, once you do choose to create a Nobilian character, each subsequent character that you create on that account can only be Nobilian or Florisla. So you can't go back and forth between the two factions. So let's get in there and take a look at what
Chosen mankind.
And you can see once again you've got a cutscene there, and I'm going to skip it so we can get right into the character creation. You can see along the bottom you've got 8 different character classes. You've got the warrior, the protector, the scholar, the bomber, the explorer, the chaser, the paladin, and the priest. Many of these are named very similar to exactly what you would think they are, but some of them are a little bit different. You can see here the scholar trait, a magic class that specializes in targeting attacks, the bomber, a magic class that specializes in range attacks, and you can see here you've kind of got your kind of attack power, general attack power, physical defense power, natural defense power, and these are kind of where the different class stands. So you can see they adjust as I go through each one. There's an agile melee class. The chaser is an agile melee class, but it's kind of interesting because this to me seems like a range class. Looks like she's got a gun, stuff like that. I don't know. But then you've got this one, which is an agile melee class. I'm guessing kind of like your thief or your rogue. Then you got your paladin, sport class, relying on summons for defense. And then your priest, a sport class, basically your healer and stuff like that. But let's keep things pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and go with the warrior. Class specialized in attacking. You can see here everything but natural defense is pretty high. If you want to, you can look at the protector. You can see physical defense is very high. So you can get kind of the idea of each of these. Let's go ahead and go next and see the customization. Now, once you get into here, you can see that the customization's pretty deep. Now, one thing that is a bit disappointing is it looks like we've got gender lock as far as the different characters are concerned, and that's unfortunate. You know, it always is really unfortunate when they gender lock these different character classes. So let's look. You've got a few different face types, as you can see here. There's not a lot of customization in the generic stuff. Let's go ahead and give them that scar on the eye. That always looks cool. And you can change the color of the skin, stuff like that. Let's go with that. Let's go a little lighter. So there you go. And then you can get in your hairstyles. You got a bunch of different hairstyles. For some reason, I think the game developers really had a thing for Justin Bieber, because there's like 4 or 5 Justin Bieber hairstyles just going back and forth. We're not going to pick one of those. Let's go ahead and go with that one. And then you can change your hair color and stuff like that. It doesn't change too much. It looks like it more changes the highlights, things like that. Then you do have the opportunity to change your outfit. Let's go with that one. And then you can change your gloves and your shoes. Now, once you get into all that stuff, you can really get into a lot of the in-depth customization stuff. As you can see, I can stretch my neck back and forth, make my shoulders wide or broad. Same with my chest. But you can do a lot of stuff, and then you can kind of do random, make your character all kinds of different sizes. We're going to make him so tall you can't even see his head. Now what's really weird about this is you do have your customized face, but you can't randomize it. But you can put your ears really, really low on your head, which I never see anybody with ears down around the top of their neck, but hey, whatever. You can make your ears really small, and you can change your nose size. I mean, you can see all the different stuff you can do here. But let's go ahead and get into the game. Let's create and get started. So there we go. We've got our character created. And you can see you've got several different character slots. They'll all fit in these different areas. And then you go ahead and click on him, and there we go. We've got the game start. Now you will see there's another cutscene here. I'll probably skip by it. But the game does have, it does show that there's a lot of quality as far as the cutscene is concerned. Flying in this kind of like motorcycle thing. Wish I could turn it to the side so we could see it from the side. But still, it looks pretty cool. I'm guessing one of the mounts of the game that you could pick up as you're playing along. And one thing I can tell you is, right as soon as you jump into the game, what's really cool about it is you are able to move through the very early stages of the game, and it does so with kind of a cool little tutorial that's set up to just keep you very much in the game. So it's not like one of those things where you go to a different section or anything like that, and it progresses you about through levels 1 through 5. By the time you're done with the tutorial, you'll be level 5. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of our different things. So we've got a troop practice spear, so let's go ahead and equip that. Standard, double clicking or right clicking will equip these things, and you can see you've got some different slots for rings and boots and all those different things. And you can see right here we've got a few different brand new characters. Let's get started with the training sergeant. And it's pretty tough to hear him right now, but essentially there is voice acting that will walk you through all this stuff. And it talks about, when you see these glowing green triangles over the heads of different characters, that means they have quests for you. And then the quests are divided into 4 types: event, quest, assistant job, and adventures. And they're different colors based upon the type that they are, and so on and so forth. We're going to move through that. And he's talking about H, and you can bring up your quest log. I'm not sure why they chose H, but they did. Every game has its own reasoning behind why they choose different UI interface options, but hey, whatever. So let's pick up, and you can see due to these reasons, you will undergo the 8 stages of training in this place. I see. And even while you're doing those, you're also going to pick up a bunch of other stuff. As far as quests are concerned, like I said, this whole area helps you get to about level 5. You can see it's talking about backpack and core necessary for training. And when you get your backpack and your core, this little section right here, your core will power up. Let's go ahead and get through this so we can get to that part. We're going to power through all this stuff. Yes, I'm ready. There we go. So I see, and he wants us to go kill some Panthera. And then we've got a quick kind of like, what do we really like? We like strength. So kind of some basic stuff there that kind of determines how you're going to kind of start the game. You can see with the tutorial kind of section here, you've got these arrows that point you where to go, and then you've got this arrow above your head that gives you the general direction if you kind of want to take shortcuts. You can see here's our Panthera, and we can bring up N. You can see this brings a little map overlay, and if we bring up A, actually we're going to do it their way. We're going to double click on that, and you can see here you've got the monsters in there, and then when we click on that, it brings up these kind of red dots that show us in which areas these monsters exist. So kind of a cool little way of doing things. What's really weird about this though is I can tell you when you get a little bit further in, sometimes it's not always right there and easy for you to determine exactly where your quest is, but it doesn't take too long for you to figure it out. You can see they do start you out with one skill. You've got Spear Strike, and then once you level up, you start to get additional points, and you're able to drop in extra skills into these different ones. Then once you reach level 5, you have some other ones, level 10, so on and so forth. And what's really cool about these little skill trees is you've got this one that's class determined. Then you've got this adventure one, which you can see it's got a few different ones. And then you've got your nation one, which essentially is training that is specific to being a nobilian. And then you've got your production, which essentially is for your crafting system. But let's go ahead and let's pick up all of the items that we've got here, and then let's take out the rest of these. We've got to take out 3 more. You can see the monsters' health and stuff is right here, and you've got a kill count that keeps track. And that comes into play when you've got this adventure log here. You can see you've got different things in the adventure log, whether it be adventure or daily record, which brings up different things. There's no logs written. And then achievements, which you can see here. We've got 20 points for event. You can see here basic military training. And as you complete different things, you get these different points. So let's go ahead, and we've got to take out 2 more of these guys and we'll be done. They do have a hotkey for picking up items, which I think is always a good thing, because it's always nice when, you know, sometimes you can't necessarily see items, or, you know what, you just want to just be able to just spam a hotkey and just be able to take somebody out. Now you do see this kind of like little power thing charging up here, and once it gets to the top, that's when you want to take and you want to use your skills, because it's kind of like this added bonus. Now you are seeing some graphical glitches in the trees there in the background. I saw that recently when I was kind of playing the game to get an idea of exactly what was going on, and but nothing that really harms the game as far as its gameplay. Spacebar does jump. You do move around with WAS and D, but you can also point and click, which is nice when you have both, because, you know, if you want to look at other stuff, you can always point and click way off into the distance. Start playing around with your hotkeys. U brings up your kind of your friends list. Y doesn't do anything. I is your inventory. O brings up your private store, which it looks like when I did get to the town that the yes, let's close that. That the it looks like everybody uses a private store to buy and sell items instead of an auction house style. I personally prefer an auction house style instead of the private store, but, you know, each of these games choose to do things their own way. So there we go. This guy's giving us some more hints, and you can see he's talking about the quest tracker here. Let's kind of power through that. And like we already saw, N is the shortcut for that invisible map. And let's go ahead and finish picking up this quest, and we'll take a look at some of those other things. So there we go. We got our novice attack backpack and some basic training core. So let's say thank you and pick up the next training quest. Yes, sir. And then let's look at these different things. So there we go. N brings up this kind of map overlay, and M will bring up the actual full map, and you can see the full area and the different training areas and stuff like that. So the next quest is going to take us to Training Commander, and it looks like you can see here you've got incident quests and process lists and completed. So these are all the ones that you've completed. Go ahead and close that up. And these are all the different ones that you're going to be able to pick up or to have that you're going to be in process with, and things like that. So J will bring up that adventure log that we looked at a second ago. And then let's continue on. So that wasn't us that leveled up. We did level up. We do have level 2. So let's bring up our skills, because we should have a skill point. And there it is. And so you can see here we've got to wait until we reach, see, as you see in the red, it says required level 3. So we're going to go ahead and put the point into improved spear skill. That will actually help us do more damage with the spear that we're using. We've got the full map that we were just talking about. We've got the quest list that we were just talking about. And he's talking about bring up the full map, and you can look for these green little triangles and stuff on the full map. Kind of nice being able to see exactly where these different guys are. So let's head off and go ahead and that's definitely not the right direction. So let's see where we're going here. Let's cruise around this way to go ahead and get to the next area that we need to get to and move on to the next quest. Oh yeah, let's bring up our backpack and let's talk about that real quick. So you can see we got the backpack. We're going to go ahead and equip that, and there it's equipped. And then we're going to go ahead and let's get past that. Please follow the arrow to the next quest. Yep, backpack and core, so on and so forth. Right click the core items, attack, defense, blah 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 blah. Let's get through all that. F12 to set options. So you can see right here the core is 0 of 500. So we're going to go ahead and use some of the core, and then that powered it up to 300 and 500. Now right now we don't have the ability to use armor or dash skills. We do around level 4 you do a quest and you get another or you get a backpack upgrade. And that'll allow you to do armor and dash. And dash is kind of cool. It's one of those ones that you can take and you can actually use, and you can move around much faster. So it's kind of nice to have. But for now we're going to go ahead and use the attack power plus 15%. And you'll see while that's active, it will slowly decrease this 300 out of 500. And you can see it hasn't even gone down yet, so it is very slow. But you do get those extra bonuses, and as you get more effective backpacks and stuff like that, you'll get additional bonuses. So kind of an interesting way to do essentially like buffs in the game. The nice thing that I did find also when you're talking about these quests that we're picking up right now is not all the quests are just go and kill, X number of these or X number of that. They do have some collection quests and quests where you do have to go and heal soldiers in the battlefield and stuff like that. So they did, and we're gonna get a little cutscene that's gonna show us where we need to go for this quest. You can see you can hit escape for all of these. You see, find the enemy location, take the scroll with their plans on it. And you can see right there, there were a couple of different sections that the scroll could possibly be. So we could take some ground on the battle. So essentially, the way this is all set up is like you've got kind of these two factions warring with each other, and the idea is that you want to take and continue to move forward in the battleground. So. And you've got this cool little thing right here that'll pop up when you do have a skill point, but that was already there. And even though you guys already saw me go into the skill section and apply that skill point, and you can see here just like right there, acquired 100 adventure points. And we can go to our adventure log. You can see there it is, 100 adventure points, stuff like that. And there we go. There's the adventure, or maybe that was the daily record. Let's see, where are we at here? So. Not exactly sure what that was. It popped up and disappeared so quick. But like I said, you get different ones for different things. Event, register, and you also get them for, like you see here, exploring, reputation levels, match for your PvP records, unit adventure, camp adventures, your guild stuff, in the hunt. So you can see we did the log, so we got the extra, we killed 5 of these, so we got an extra 10 points. You can set your titles. You can also get adventure experience points as it levels. You can see level 2 achieved and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of like your achievement log, things like that. It's always nice to get those little extra bonus things while you're playing games and stuff like that. It gives you one more thing to kind of strive for, because you always have your levels and then gear. And achievements, I think, is one of those things that everybody kind of likes. And being able to give you one more reason to be doing certain things, whether it's killing monsters or crafting or, all those different things. But you can see there's a pretty decent variety of monsters. You've got these training robots, and then you've got like those panther type characters, and then you've also got these, essentially your human type characters that are very similar to yourself, that you're going to also be taking and fighting. And there we go, we leveled up again. We're going to go ahead and try and pick up the plans, see if they're at this desk, but this guy instead is going to beat on us. You can see some of the guns and things like that are available in the game. It's kind of cool to see a combination of guns and then melee weapons and stuff like that. Makes for some, like it says, that hybrid MMORPG style. So... But I hope you guys enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. If you'd like to play or learn more about Argo Online, you can read our full review at MMOden.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.